Hey guys, welcome to Graphic Design. Today you have a little Canva tutorial brought to you by moi because there's lots of Canva tutorials on YouTube, but none of them really went over the things I want to show you. So if you'll go to Canva and log in for me, I'm going to log in as my student username, so that way you can see what the screen looks like. Does anybody else have like a zillion tabs open at the top? Is it just me? Okay, so this week you're going to be working on a PSA of sorts. That's a public service announcement to wear your mask, okay, in the hallways, in the school. Even if you're not coming back to the classroom, your work might get displayed in the school building. So I am going to print off some of these, some of the better ones, and hang them up around the classroom and around the halls, so your work will be on display. You're going to make a poster about wearing your face mask, and I'll give you some stipulations, some requirements that need to be on the mask. But for now, we're just going to talk about how to add text, colors, how to upload stuff, and how to use frames today. Okay. So we're going to make a poster. So remember, you can create a design by clicking right here and searching, or you can scroll. And if you missed it, poster is a really popular thing to make, so it's actually the first one right there. You can also search right here. There's lots of options for you. You can also search up here. Check it out under marketing. If you have a certain topic you're looking for, you could look at that. Check it out, Zoom backgrounds. Maybe we'll do that. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, anyway, we're talking about posters right now, so get on track, Miss Gordon. Okay, create a design and open a poster. And the first thing I want to remind you of, if you haven't played around or you're kind of unfamiliar with it, is when you open something blank, you have options to use templates that will pop up over here. So, oh, look, how to use a mask. I already see one there. Let's say, oh, I want to see what that looks like. I want to use it. Down here, let me see. You can change the view, so if you want to make it full screen, you can. Whoa, but then you can't really work. So what I usually do is I'll just make it a little bigger so I can, so if you click on the percentage, you could go to like 25% and then you can see it a little better. So play around with that if you can't see it. Notice when I, run my mouse over everything, it kind of puts a little box around it. That means those are all separate and I can delete whatever I don't want. So let's say I just like that yellow kind of turquoise and brown and white background. I could go through and just like delete everything I see that's not a part of that background. Some things you'll notice are grouped together. So if they don't just delete on the first try, that's probably because they're a group. Check it out. Now I kind of have a blank slate and I could even use that if I want to. If I don't want to do that, or let's say I don't really like that white, I kind of want to make it red, I can click up there and you'll notice that the color will pop up over here. Same thing, brown. Oh, that must be a picture. If it doesn't pop over here, that means it's not just a color. Like that one or that one. Interesting. But the white part is. So these three, I'm guessing, must be put on top of the white poster. So they're different kinds of elements. They're probably shapes. So if I want to change the color, I click on white. And let's say I want to do red. Ooh, cool. All right. Now I have that as my style. Now let's say I want to say keep your mask on at all times. Okay. So I'm going to add text right over here. And I can choose some pre-made. I always really like that one. I don't know why. I just like how the fonts that they have there. The cool thing about Canva for us, because we're in education and you're a student, you get to use everything for free, which is really awesome with Canva. You can choose, all kinds of fonts that they already have, or I guess layouts, or you can just add plain. So I'm going to add plain and say, wear your mask at all times. Okay. In order to mess around with the font, you want to make sure everything is highlighted, and then you can come up here and you can play around with the different fonts. So maybe you want to make it in cursive. Maybe you want to make it bold. Or, like I said, sometimes I like what they have. So let's say I want to use that. Well, I'm not trying to talk about how masks are on sale, so I can change the words. Wear your mask. You see how I can't click on that up to 50% off? That's because all of this is grouped together, right? So when I click on it, it'll all move together. But let's say I need to fix that where you're up here, you're gonna go to the 3 dots and you're gonna ungroup everything. That way, each element now becomes its own. So I can take that off so I can actually see the other parts. So at all times. Now I can put them together in a way that makes sense. I can even expand it by going out like that. That looks way better. I can move it down. Move this up a little bit. It's really up to you how you want to do it. But you know, when you ungroup them, that's when you can kind of play around. So if they don't fit, or if you want to make them bigger, you go up here and you can change the size. So 190. Well, that messed it up, so I'm going to drag it out a little bit more. There we go. Now I might make that 200, something like that. Okay. I'm one of those people that gets kind of picky. Okay, you'll notice when I scroll down, you can see the lines, right? Those pink lines on the screen. That means that it's centered. So if you're wondering if it's centered or not, maybe you don't want everything centered, but some of the stuff, ooh, I like how that's going along that line. That looks kind of cool. All right, now let's say I want to put a picture in there of a mask. I'm going to go over here to a couple of different options. If I have a picture of a mask, or maybe I have a picture of myself in my mask, I might want to upload my own picture. So you could do that by uploading. You just click on it and you can upload from your Google Drive or your desktop. Maybe I don't have a picture, so I'm going to look up face mask. Okay, there are several pictures here. If I want it more realistic, maybe I don't really want a picture, but I want like a drawing. I could go to elements and I could type in face mask, see what pops up. I might have some more cartoon, right? Like clip art that I could use, and maybe that would look more appropriate on my mask. So if I click on it, it's going to add it. But you'll notice, you know, you might want to make it bigger. You might want to make it smaller. It's up to you. If you don't like it, just click on it and delete it. I'm going to go back to those photos because I want to show you something. Let's say I like this red mask because I have red in there. But when I move it over here, it's like way too big and kind of clunky. Well, one of your options is you can add, I'm going to drag it to the side, you can add an element. Go over to elements, and if you've already searched for something, it'll be up there, so just exit out of that. I'm going to scroll down to something called frames. If you click see all, it'll open all of them, and you can click any kind of frame that you want the picture to go in. So let's say I'm going to try this one. I'm going to click on that frame, but you know, I don't want that on my poster. I want the mask. So if you have a picture or a drawing, you can drag it over that frame and it'll fill that in. So it kind of has that cool shape behind it now. Let's say, let's see, what happens when I click that? I could change it to that. Oh, uh-oh, I just deleted my mask, right? Because I covered it up. Well, good news, there's an undo button right here. So just hit undo, okay? Now, this isn't exactly what I would create. I would add more stuff, but I don't want to talk on here forever because I know it's hard to watch like longer videos. So we've talked about how to add text. We've talked about how to move stuff around, right? You can move it like that. You can move it over here. It's up to you. You can play with the font up here. You can play with the font size. You can play with the font color too. Okay, so if you want to change the color. We've talked about how to upload pictures. We've talked about photos, different elements like frames or clip art. And we've talked a little bit about text today, adding in what you want it to say. When you're done with your creation, that's when you hit this down button. Some of you have been sharing it, right? So if you hit share, you can share it with Wildcat Design Studios. That's our class. You can do that if you want other people to see it, but I also always want you to submit your work on Canvas. So you're going to hit the download button, and we're going to learn later about our different file formats, but if this is going to be printed off, a PDF would be great. Yeah. So once you have it on PDF form, and it'll suggest what's best, so you can always go with that too. You're going to download it, and it'll pop down there. You can drag it to your desktop if you want, and when you go to turn in your Canvas assignment, you can choose that from your desktop. So when you open it in preview, you see we have our poster all ready to be printed. So have fun, explore, learn how to do those things for me, and we'll make our mask poster soon.